I'm going to open this Pages tab here, and I'm going to click this cog beside my home page, so this projects page, and I'm just going to duplicate it. So I'll press duplicate. For the duplicated page, I will call it project detail, like so. And for the path, I will just call it project. And since I want to carry over this navigation sidebar, and this sidebar will look the same and function the same across all the pages that I use it on, I'm going to toggle this on so it becomes a linked section. And then I'll press create. So basically, now that this is a linked section, as you can see in the layout tree here, this is blue. And this essentially means now that this section is linked to this sidebar section on my projects page. And because they're linked, if I was to change something, so for example, let's say I just change the text to manager here, and then I switch back to my new project detail page, you can see the text has also changed within this sidebar. And so now I can use this sidebar as a linked section. So any changes I make, those changes will reflect across all pages, so I don't have to make the change everywhere. And the other very nice thing about this is that this will continue to be rendered when I change pages. Meaning in my app, if I was to take the user back to this projects page, this sidebar won't have to re-render across those page changes, which is very useful for improving performance. So I will switch back to my project detail page, and I am going to delete the content we have in this main container. And I'm going to click on this main container so I can pass it in as context to the AI here. I'll get rid of this table view that I had as context before. And I will now say, inside this main container, I want to add the page content for our project detail page. So for context, previously we created the projects page. Now what we are going to do is that when a user clicks one of those projects, they will get taken to a project detail page, aka this page. And so inside of this main container, I want to add the content of that given project detail page. And then I can send off my prompt. Okay, so that is now done, and we don't have any data on the page yet. And the reason we don't have any data on the page yet is if I read back through what the AI said, it said it's created a tasks by project ID table view. And so if I switch over to the data and API tab and I go to the tasks table, I can indeed see here it's created a tasks by project ID table view. And it makes sense why it's not returning any data here. It's because we haven't given it a project ID. So just to test this, we had one project that had a bunch of tasks, and it was this one. So if I just copy this ID here, and I was to go to the tasks by project ID table view, if I paste in this project ID just to make sure it all works correctly, it does indeed. And so if I just deleted this for a second to make sure it doesn't work, we shouldn't get any tasks back, and indeed we get that error. Cool, so that is working. And so now we can use the table view that is created to get the tasks for this page. And I think the AI will have actually already set this up. So I can see there's a container here. And if I put it into edit mode and I check what this container list is bound to, so if I open this, I can indeed see the AI has already set it up to use the tasks by project ID table view. And so our job here will be to set up a URL path parameter. So if I open this URL parameter, you can see when it comes to URLs, we can add path parameters or we can add query parameters. Now, path parameters and query parameters can be a bit confusing if it's your first time dealing with them. So let's spend 2 minutes going through a quick explanation of the use case for both. So when it comes to path parameters, if you had your URL here, when you have a / and then something here, this is what you would consider a path. So basically a path is denoted by one of these /. However, when it comes to a query parameter, these are denoted by a question mark. And then after this question mark, you can have multiple query parameters. So a good example of this is actually the search we implemented earlier. So you might have a search query parameter. And so after this question mark, you might have something like this. So search is the name of the query parameter. And then you would have an equals, and then after the equals, you have the value of it. So when we were searching, one of the things we would search for was mobile. And so in that case, you would have something like this. And if you wanted to have multiple query parameters, they would be separated by an and sign. So you would have something like this, and then another query parameter. So I don't know, maybe page, if you have pagination, page equals 2, something like this. And a lot of the time there can be confusion around whether you should use a path parameter or a query parameter. And it really just depends on your use case. You should use a path parameter if your page is completely dependent on having a value for that parameter. So our project detail page here is a good example of this. So our URL will look something like this right now. And whenever we visit a project page, we need to know, in this case, the ID of the given project. Otherwise, we have no idea what information to show on this project detail page. And so in our case, because our project page is completely dependent on having that dynamic value, so the project ID, we would want to have a path parameter where after this /, we will have the ID of the given project. However, earlier on our main projects page, when we set up that search functionality, that's a good use case for a query parameter, because in that example, the URL would look something like this, so projects for our main projects page. But in this case of the main projects page, the user had the choice whether or not they want to search. And so in that case, because the page wasn't dependent on having that dynamic value, it would make sense to utilize a query parameter, and that query parameter would have been search equals and then whatever the user is looking to search for. Now, when we set up that search functionality a few moments ago, I didn't set it up as a query parameter. However, you could if you wanted to. And the extra nice thing about doing it as a query parameter is that if the user did search for something, so they searched for mobile, for example, whenever they refresh the page, because this value is in the URL, that search would remain. Or they could do something like sharing this URL with a friend, and whenever their friend opens that URL, because this search value again is in the URL, their friend would also have, in this case, the mobile search value pre-populated in the search bar. So with that said, we need a path parameter. So on this project detail page, I can add a path parameter. I will call it projectId. And for the default value and the current value, I'm just going to leave this as blank for now. So I can press save. And so now when I navigate someone to this project detail page, I basically need to tell the page the ID of whatever project the person is trying to view. So how I do this is if I go back to my main projects page, on this view project button, in the settings tab, I'm going to add a link. We will link to a page, and the page we will link to is the project detail page. And you can see here, it's automatically detected that that page has a path parameter, so project ID. And so here we need to define the given project ID the person is trying to view. And so I can bind this, and because these elements are being repeated, it's bound to that table view we created earlier. I have access to this given item's ID, so I can bind this, and it will now, whenever someone clicks this view project button, take them to the project detail page, and for the path parameter, automatically pass the ID of the related project. And so then now, whenever I try to click on the website redesign project, we shouldn't see any tasks because it doesn't have any tasks. But if I click on the API integration project, we should see all these different tasks. So if I put this into preview mode, if I click on website redesign, we shouldn't see any tasks, which we don't. And if I now click on the API integration project, you can see here, we now see all of those tasks. And you can see dynamically in the URL here, that path is working as expected. So we have the base project path, and then afterwards we have the dynamic ID of the project that we're trying to access. And so this is good